As you know, on this vlog, I just like to be honest, tell it the way it is. So I think it's important to be realistic so you can relate to it, rather than, you know, some people will make it sound like, you know, it's really easy when we know it's not, and obviously life gets in the way. So I must admit, today wasn't really looking forward to going for a run. It's day after Boxing Day, and after 2 days of drinking, when you don't drink, I'm feeling a little bit hungover and feel a little bit sorry for myself. The 4th week is always the most difficult one when you're adjusting to higher mileage, and I've always struggled in the past, kind of mentally, can't even talk, and physically. So I think this is when the doubts start creeping in. You know, I thought to myself today, am I going to run a sub 128? Because on my last few park runs, admittedly, one of them was dressed as Santa. Can't really count that one, so they get a bit hot on a 1940. But on the other ones, I have been kind of taking it easier and building into it, but just not feeling that there was much more in the tank anyway. Obviously, when we're racing, it does come together, and I just need to kind of believe in the training and just believe in the process. So do you have negative thoughts when you're on your kind of training blocks? Just let me know down in the comments. Also, while you're at it, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with your friends, because it all helps. So this half marathon on the 22nd of January, the Farnborough Half Marathon, is going to be perfect timing, but seeing as the Brighton Marathon is the 2nd of April. It's going to give me the kind of confidence and the belief, and let me know what time I can expect to run on that marathon, because if I can run a sub 128, then that means I should be able to run a sub 310. And I just found out that Chris from Here We Are Running is now running the Brighton Marathon, so it'd be good to catch up with him there before the race and catch up with a few of you guys there. So let me know if you're running the Brighton Marathon. Right, so today's run, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel, obviously being hungover. So I was thinking minimum 10 miles, maximum 15. But we'll just see. I say at the moment, legs are not feeling great, but you know, not to be surprised. So right, I'm going to carry on with the run, and I'll let you know how it went when I get back. Back home, going to give myself a pat on the back. That was tough out there. As you know, I was hungover, so my legs felt, should we say, trashed. They felt heavy, no spring, but give myself a pat on the back because I got to about 8 miles. That was about 6 miles actually, and I had a choice of going right or left. And if I'd have gone left, it would have given me about 8 miles today, but I thought I'd go right, which would put me on about half a marathon. So I did the half marathon today. What was that? 8:44 pace, 1 hour 54, 46. And I think that kind of builds a bit of character, because, you know, in a race when you're feeling that kind of, you know, trash legs and you find it tough, that you can carry on going. So this has been one of these weeks with filming. As you know, on YouTube, we rely on light. We don't like wind, and rain, obviously not great for the camera. And it's been one of those weeks this week. So Wednesday, didn't film my strength training, but to be honest, my calves were in bits because I was so dehydrated from over the Christmas period. And also I think eating all that rich food, it just kind of makes us probably a bit sluggish, should we say, if we was to be honest. And so I did a light bit of training there, worked on my calves, and then on the Thursday left my run really late. Normally I like to go out in the daylight, but had some family stuff, plus I have to seriously start looking for a job now because my money's going to run out at the end of January. And so spend most of my time just looking for work. So if you want to help support the channel, just watch some of the adverts at the beginning. As I mentioned before, just give it a thumbs up, share and all that stuff. It just helps promote the channel, and I've got PayPal giving links if you want to give, and that'd be really appreciated. So that run that evening didn't get out till 6 o'clock,
It was pitch black, couldn't find my head torch, and where I live in Leominster, we've got no street lights for about half a mile, so that was interesting going out and coming back. It was just over about 9 miles, I think 8:24 pace. Glad I did it when I come back, because obviously the 40-mile weeks are not going to run themselves. Friday was day off, and then Saturday I thought to myself, you know, I've had them doubts about my speed, so I thought, let's run a sub 19 park run. But then I looked at the weather this morning, and honestly, it was the worst weather I've ever run in. You know, I like to make excuses on the channel, but it was raining, it was hail. It said the wind was 21 with gusts between 42 and 47. And as you can imagine, running by the coast, you really get hammered there. So I thought to myself while I was down there, end up running in a vest because my coat was soaked through. And I thought, you know, we're waterproof, why not? And so the wind was actually behind us on the way out. So on the course you go out, back. So I knew I was going to find it difficult on that last K running into the wind. So I made it as much as I could with the wind behind me, but obviously had to dig really deep going back. Managed to still run an 18, yeah, I wish, 19:49. But in them conditions, I was more than chuffed with that. End up finishing third and kind of come away with confidence. I think looking at everyone's times and my own, probably could run about 30 seconds quicker if it weren't obviously having the wind in your face, because you need to take into account, obviously you're getting the wind with you as well. Did a 3-mile run there and then a 2 and a bit mile run back. So then that would just leave me about 9.5 miles to finish off the 40-mile week, which would be nice to get the kind of 4th one ticked off in a row. Fingers crossed the weather's not too bad tomorrow. I think it's not forecast rain, but still very strong winds. So we'll probably end up here again or down in my kitchen. So I will speak to you tomorrow.
So I thought I'd stop halfway to bring you down to one of my favourite places down by the beach. You know, what is not to love? I remember the first time coming down here in the summer after I moved down to the coast, and just the smell of that sea air just made me smile. So I forgot to wish you a Happy New Year. Happy New Year! So let me know down in the comments what your goals are, because I think that's what we're meant to set at this time of the year. So I thought to myself, take you down by the coast. Great scenery, but unfortunately the wind was just too strong and the audio was ruined. So I thought I'd come back and talk about my goals in order. So the first one will be my 5K. I have run a sub 18 before when I was 45. About 4 of us got together and we did a kind of time trial. But unfortunately we know that doesn't count unless it's actually a race or a park run. So my quickest time that I've run that's actually been recorded is 18:25, and that was this year. So I do believe that I've got a sub 18 in there. 10K, my PB is 38:50. I run that not this December, the December before in a race, and I was filming then, and I do believe that I've got a sub 38 in me as well. The other races, which I mentioned before, which is in 3 weeks' time, is the Farnborough Half Marathon, and I want to run a sub 1:28. And then the marathon, I want to be realistic. Yes, I would like to run a sub 3 hours, but if we can go for sub 3:10, my PB is 3:39, and that's because I run London, got carried away in the back of my mind thinking that I could run a sub 3 hours and end up hamstring tightening up and having to walk limp to the finish for 13 miles. So I think this year definitely I can PB across all of those, and looking forward to get stuck in with my training and take myself to that next level. Right, I'm gonna finish my run, but we know we're not going to finish my run because I'm already home now. But my next bit will be after I've done the run, if that makes any sense. Get in, another 40-mile week, done and dusted. That's 4 40-mile weeks in 4 weeks. Only 3 weeks until the race. At the beginning of the vlog, obviously I had doubts about, you know, am I going to be able to run that fast? But thinking back to the park run on Saturday, in them conditions to run that sort of time, this says to me that I've built strength and that I can run that fast. If I can run that fast in them conditions, then I should be able to run the half marathon at the sub 1:28. So today was 10 miles, 8:02 pace. Stopped to do a bit of YouTube filming, which you obviously watched at the beginning of this short bit that you're watching now, if that makes any sense. And so I did think to myself this week that, you know, we must be mad training in some of the conditions that we train in, but it's all to achieve the goals we want to. But I did forget about one goal, and obviously that's to find a job ASAP. Right, have a fantastic new year. I've got some early miles on the board, first run of the new year, which is always a good start, and I will speak to you soon. Onwards and upwards. Cheers!